What if we could get it so that administrators didn't get tenure when they arrived? Would that solve a lot of problems? They would be, and this is what they do in the mainland. It's not but you'd really have to have a commitment to want to stay here if you were from outside. If you get tenure, then unfortunately UPA has to represent you. So we may have to represent Marcy, which is frightening. And if you were local, then there was, or had been here in the university, then you either had tenure or you didn't, but you had earned it. It wasn't you weren't anointed as you arrived.
They're administrators. We're not guaranteed if we don't do well in our job, we're going to be given another job. It's just one of the whole thing of being in this privileged class is if you're not a good administrator and you just do horribly, you're still a tenured faculty with a nice retirement plan. That's a little bit.
Well, and it's kind of degrading to our profession that you can bomb out in your job and we can send you to the faculty where you will have a nice cushy, it kind of degrades the professionalism of our profession. And, just to speak a little bit to the comment that you made, I think that we as faculty have interests that are broader than our contract, and that's interest in the community and seeing education serve our community. And one of the things that I'm hoping is that we can maybe take UPA in a direction where it can be sort of the umbrella under which we organize ourselves so that we can bring our interest to the community more broadly. Yeah. And I mean, certainly our contract rights are absolutely important. I would not have a job without our contract. But I think that we have broader interests, and I'd like to see us work as faculty together, maybe under the auspices of UPA, and organize ourselves and take our concerns to the community, to our own local island legislators, and get the backing. One of the things that bothers me is seeing the administration as the face of our university down at the legislature, and we don't have a very good face there over this past year. It's been muddied. Why can't we be more of that face and get to know our local legislators on a different kind of level and petition our concerns more directly?
You all have an advantage over Oahu in that you're closer to your ledge folks, and you know them better. The Maui has the same advantage, and with Oahu, not so much. And so in some ways you can help be the leaders in pushing for things. Same thing with the regents. And in other words, say something like the no tenure thing. This is something that you could push with the ledge and get listened to. On Oahu, we might not. So we're asking for your help. The same with the Kauai Board of Regents guy. Gal? I'm not sure who the latest one. So you guys have a disproportionate influence over the system. You may think you're a small community college, but you've got more clout than you realize.
I just had a really strange idea from something you said. It would be interesting. I wonder how they would feel if a faculty member were denied tenure if they had a fallback administrative position, and how that would go over. I mean, it sort of illustrates the point that was being made. And in the case of Marcy, there is no way in the world that any university would hire Marcy as a researcher, instructor at $300,000 a year at her current state. I mean, she hasn't done anything for at least 30 years. And, it just wouldn't happen. I mean, they'd laugh if she wouldn't make it past the first screening of applications. And yet we're forced to take her on as a tenured professor. So, that's an issue, and we have to constantly raise it. And it goes back to the issue of how UPA can help. It's not something we can put into the contract, but UPA can help be the voice of faculty, that when, faculty raise these issues, that we can, we have the resources to raise them with the community, and that's something I think we need to do more of.
And I think one of the things I've heard in this series is that, where has UPA spoken out on these issues? Well, generally where UPA speaks out on these issues is when JN goes to the Board of Regents and testifies, or when JN gives a press conference, or Chris Hanselman gives a press conference. That's where I think, we have to step up. And if there's a Board of Regents meeting here on campus, faculty go to that and express their concerns directly to the Board of Regents. I know they go into executive session real quickly. But even, if it's just a couple of minutes, they have to let you speak at some point and submit your testimony if you choose not to speak. And I think we have to do that a lot more and take the opportunities that are there so that, UPA speaking out, the faculty speaking out is us. It's us doing it.